What do you do when you don't feel like putting any effort into your card magic? We've all been there. You make the unfortunate mistake of telling somebody that you do card tricks. What's the inevitable next question? Oh, why don't you show me one? But you've had about an 8-ball and 15 shots of Jaeger. So what do? This is what you do. You tell them to look at the cards and make sure that they're ordinary cards. And you do this by being very upfront and direct with them and telling them that you are about one shot away from cirrhosis. And here they look at the playing cards and they're normal, ordinary playing cards. And you have them cut the cards wherever it is they like. Now they look at the card they cut to. And remember, in this case, the 7 of spades. You then instruct them to put the card back right there and to cut the cards, bearing the 7 somewhere in the middle. Remember, you're not looking at them. And they're not looking at you because you're a disgusting magician. At this point, you instruct them to cut the cards wherever they want and to cut the cards again and to even cut the cards one more time. And then, if you want, you could tell them to cut the cards again. You could even tell them to cut the cards in 3 piles like this and place this one on top of this one and then this one on top of this one, which makes everything crazy. Now, here's where things get dark and weird and mysterious because you're going to just touch the cards for a moment. This is part of the process. If somebody interrupts you, you remind them that you are the star and you need concentration. And now you're ready to begin. You don't say anything at all, but you just start turning the cards and dealing them like this. And you go, wait a second. No, okay. No. I'm getting a feeling here. You just start running through the cards like this. You start running through the cards like this, stopping sporadically. Remember, at this point, you're not saying a word. They think you're out of your mind because you are, in fact, out of your mind. You run through the cards like this and go, don't say anything. Now. Sir, don't say anything. Think of your card. Your card's the 7 of spades. And they go, whoa, amazing. Not only that, you remind everyone to shut up because you're the star of the show. And you slowly reach over and turn over the 7 of spades. Whoa. Easy peasy, my friends, the key card principle. That's it. But we're using it to get a peek of the card. And on top of that, we're also using it to reveal the card. So we're getting a lot of uses for the key card principle. If you're unaware of the key card principle, might I suggest checking out the PigCake Magic Academy. I'm sure you've heard me shill it before, but it's a very good service. There's a lot of other competing services, but they suck. Mine is better. Check it out, over 1,000 videos. Although the key card principle is very simply that you look at, in this case, the bottom card of the deck, and you remember it. Now, when you have the participants cut the cards, and then look at the card they cut to, and then place that card on the opposite pile, and place the pile back on top, look at what's happening. Your remembered card is going directly on top. Now, you might be asking, hey, how is it that I put on deodorant? And you're also asking, hey, how is it that I get to look at the bottom card without actually seeming like I'm looking at the bottom card? You could take the cards out of the box, and when you take it out of the box, first thing you see is the bottom card. If you want them to mix up the deck, just have them mix up the deck. Usually participants know what a vagina looks like, so they're going to mix cards up in a way that you're going to be able to see the bottom card. Use that to your advantage. If not, and all else fails, just have them mix the cards face up. Just have them shuffle the deck face up. They don't know where you're going, so just have them mix the deck face up, and when they're done, just take a note as to what the bottom card of the deck is. Then have them turn the deck back face down, and you're ready to rock and roll. Here's how you're going to rock and roll. You're going to tell them to cut the cards, and remember the card they cut to. Then you're going to say, place the card on the other side, so that now you could bury that card in the middle of the deck. Of course, all this does is that takes their card and puts it right next to your card, the card that you remembered, the 3 of spades. So all you know right now is the 3 of spades is next to their card. You don't know what their card is yet. And it's not going to matter how many times they mix the cards up like this. They could cut the cards as many times as they want, as long as it is a complete cut. Now, every once in a while, when I show this trick to someone, that doesn't necessarily do card magic, they ask me the same question. Piggy, what's going to happen if, for example, they cut their card to the top? Well, you're going to know because you're going to see your card, the card that you remembered, back on the bottom. Now, if you happen to see your card, the one that you remembered, on top of the deck, you know that the next card is going to be theirs. Now, the fact that I have to explain that lets me know that I have an audience of inbreds. Also, remember in the performance, I had them mix the cards up like this, right? Guess what? That doesn't do anything. That keeps the deck in the exact same order. If you take a chunk of cards and put it there, take another chunk of cards and put it there, and take the last chunk and put it there, and have them regroup the cards from that way, the left to right, it's not going to do anything. The cards are still in the exact same order, so you're not even cutting the cards. You're just a liar. But now, guess what? Here's where you really drum up the mystery and just start going through the cards. Just start going through the cards. Now, a little tip here, you could start going through the cards face down first and then turn them face up. If you happen to see your card, then you could stop right here and go, I'm actually getting a feeling right now. And you could go to reveal the card. However, if not, just keep dealing until you see your card. You're looking for the 3 of spades. Now, when you see the 3 of spades, don't stop dealing. Continue dealing. Because you know that the next card, in this case, the card that's going to be after the 3 of spades, which I've left face up for the sake of explanation, is going to be their card. So you shouldn't stop dealing once you see your card. What you should do is that you should remember what the next card is as you continue dealing. Now, at this point, once you've dealt a couple more, you know what their card is. So you've got all the information to do this wondrous trick. At this point, you could go, something doesn't feel right. And you could take back cards from this pile and place it back until you go past their card. So in this case, I'm going to keep putting cards until I go past their card, remembering that the 3 of spades is again next to their card. So at this point, I could go, all right, and deal back until I see the 3 of spades, and I could stop dealing. But what this allows me to do is that this allows me to peek at their card. So now I know what their card is. So I could reveal their card and say, all right, I see you're thinking of the, look at me when I talk to you, Miriam. You're thinking of the 3 of clubs. And they're going to go, that's crazy. And you go, you know what's even crazier than that? I actually never gotten a sexually transmitted disease. And this is also the 3 of clubs. So you could really manage it how you want to manage it. But you could reveal the fact that you managed to not only reveal the card, but also stop precisely where the card is located, all by using the power of Celine Dion's love. You could see from this position that I was recording this on my knees, which shows you that I could be on my knees for a very long time. Some of you right-wing pro-Christian individuals might think that that's a gross joke because I'm making a joke about being on my knees for long. Well, all I have to say is, screw you, you libtard. But as you can see, it's a very easy trick. It's almost cocktail proof because you're relying on the key card principle to do all the hard work for you. You're just looking for your card, dealing a couple past, and then getting the peek as to what their card is. Once you got that bit of information, you're as good as gold. You're as slick as semen on a golden tooth. You're as ripe as a nun. Oh boy, but that's a fun one. I suggest to perform it when you're drunk. See if you could get away with it. And what's great about it is that everything's hands off. They pick the card, they cut it back in the middle, they cut the deck as many times as they want, and you still find their card. To a layperson, this is amazing. To a magician, they're gonna think it's boring because you don't have to practice for this one. Let me let you in on a little insider secret. Magicians don't know any better. To them, they see a trick like this and they go, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather bust my nuts and do some trick that shows off how much skill and practice I've dedicated to the art of magic. Well, to that, I have to say, you are a mentally ill virgin.
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.